I feel very privileged. It's not something you see very often. I'm pretty sure there's only one other all-female crew in the United States doing fire.
I remember learning about this fire several thousand years ago in Yellowstone. And they said that this is where a good chunk of the new growth came from. It's just part of nature. Respect it, but also don't fear it.
Sophia Chrysostom grew up in Utah, where dry conditions and extreme heat often spark wildfires that send billows of smoke for miles. Now, she's leading Colorado's first all-women crew. The program, one of the first of its kind, is a collaboration with the Western Colorado Conservation Corps and the Bureau of Land Management. Women only hold about 12% of the wildland fire positions in the U.S., and Colorado isn't exempt from this gender disparity. BLM officials couldn't give an exact number of women in fire, but did say they're underrepresented throughout the state.
So as a female in fire, I want to be seen as a leader in fire. For me personally, it's been about 10 to 15% women in like different crews I've been on, whether engines, hot check crews, heli-tac, and I want people to look and see that females are making a difference and fighting stereotypes that it's a man's job.
There are more men in it for sure, but you begin like going back into the history books and just who you're working with, and you see there are a lot of women there. Not as many as there should be, but a lot more than you originally think, and I think that's really comforting.
Women like Becky Livingston, who became one of the first women to ever serve on elite heli-tac and hotshot crews in the late 1970s. Even though women have been present in firefighting for over 200 years, the profession is still overwhelmingly male.
We've had female crew members who have been crew leads on engines before, who have come up to us and gave us specific advice, like how it feels to be a woman on a fire crew.
Something that I had to try to learn on my own was chafing, because a lot of the work pants, they're made for men, and you just have to answer questions like that and figure out tricks on your own. But we were kind of just talking about that and saying, here's some tricks you can do, and just passing that information along, and that was really nice.
It's empowering. We usually kind of band together a little bit. It's great to see more women and the community taking notice.
As people have developed more in rural locations, these communities have become more susceptible to wildfire. Living in the wildland-urban interface means being in close proximity to lots of brush and wildland fuel, meaning when a wildfire starts, it's likely to cause serious damage.
We've definitely seen a shift with the environment, and we're getting much more mega fires, which is becoming the norm, unfortunately, with drought and climate change. Firefighters love their job, but as long as there's not structures or people in the way, it's good for the land.
The crew will live and work together for 20 weeks on the Western Slope, completing workshops and field projects. Field projects usually involving fuel reduction, things like clearing brush and thinning out areas of dense trees.
We learned how to dig fire lines today. You dig a line and get rid of all organic vegetation, that's fuel. And it's a line that's usually 12 to 18 inches wide. And hopefully, once the fire hits it, it burns itself out because there's no more fuel.
Before we started suppressing all wildfires, most of the forests were what we call a mosaic. So there's different sizes, different ages, and so when you would get a fire going in those, they wouldn't make these big runs that would go thousands of acres and those sorts of things. So getting in there at the right time of year and reducing the fuel and kind of helping create that mosaic helps with managing wildfires later, so we don't get those really large ones that can cause a lot of problems and threaten homes and threaten people and those sorts of things.
It's built my confidence just knowing that there was 7 other women that wanted to be in fire at the same time that I did. That just seems like a really big increase in the amount of interest that women are putting towards wildland firefighting.
I really think there's a great opportunity to introduce some young women to the field, give them entry-level training, and provide more opportunity for them to be able to apply for some of these fantastic jobs that we have both, with the Bureau of Land Management or any of these land management agencies.
I'm throwing a lot at you guys, so give you a lot to think about, but take it back down to those basics when you're out there on that first fire.
Hopefully one day it won't be as male dominated. We'll have maybe half women. That'd be really cool.